Alright, so last time in the anime we saw that Ryo fought that baby demon lord and in one fell swoop the undefeated demon prince was defeated. But now comes the real deal. Arthur from the Magic Research Division found a clue that something was used to keep them in the deeper floors, and regarding this and Ryo, he told Hugh that he should keep Ryo away from official records. Because his strength is immense and the last thing they want is to make an enemy out of him. After which Ryo got closer with Sarah when they exchanged swords. And it seems their love life might be progressing smoothly. But between that, Hugh came with a new job request for Ryo. That is to escort some people to the capital. But there were a few days left for that, and in the meantime Nils asked Ryo for help. His village had put in a hunting request, but only D or higher ranks are allowed. So he wanted Ryo to put together a temporary party because the job was for hunting undead and goblins. Ryo was delighted because now comes the real fantasy stuff to deal with. So they went to Hugh and he told them that the villagers refused to cooperate with the D rank party who went before them. But maybe they might open up to Nils since it was his own village. But still there was another E rank party who had taken the job before that D rank party and they came back injured. But since our group has Ryo, it would be fine. So they set out almost immediately, and by the end of the day they had already covered half of the travel. And soon in the morning they arrived in the village. Others thanked their everyday training and running around for their good stamina. And some villagers recognized Nils and greeted him. But something told Ryo that Nils must have been quite a troublemaker that he got kicked out of the village. Quite a speculation, so Nils tried to have them meet the chief. They met Balin and Nils and he were quite close seeing them like this. Anyways, he introduced his friend to Balin and after that they got down to business. Nils asked him about the D rank party that was chased out when they got here. And Balin started from the beginning when he found undead in the woods. At first, things didn't appear severe and the E rank party arrived. But they went to fight in that place which was off limits and came back nearly half dead. Which is why they chased away the second party that arrived. This place seemed quite important to villagers that even Nils agreed and asked to explain things once he take permission from the village elder. That's why when Nils went to talk with the elder, our group came to his home. Nils had 2 younger siblings and he left home to be an adventurer once they grew up. Their parents died early, but Nils stayed behind to take care of them until they were old enough. The kids were also happy that their brother found reliable friends. And then Nils came with the permission for their hunt from the village council. They can begin with goblins and then to the undead. And also, Nils got permission to reveal what was in that off-limits ground that they don't want outsiders to know. It was a guardian beast of the village living there, and Ryo thought finally the plot might turn into hunting this beast who might have been possessed by evil or something. And the other thing was the shrine. The elder said she herself would take them there. So the next day they first went to the area where goblins were spotted. They found solid evidence of them roaming here. And Ryo sensed a few were coming their way. So they decided to kill everyone and leave only one alive to see where their nest was. With that plan, Ryo went ahead and froze them into ice and the others shattered them. And while only one remained, it led them to its nest. So they took out the minions, but a goblin general came out. They weren't strong enough for that, but Ryo was. So he again helped them out and the kids were happy they got such a good haul today. Then the village elder came. Her name was Nasu, and as discussed she would lead them to the shrine today. Again, Ryo was planning to have a good fight with a mythical beast. But on the way Ito noticed a bead Nasu had that belonged to the mother goddess of earth. At first both the mother goddess of earth and the goddess of light were worshipped, but with passing time things changed and only temples of light remained. But Nasu said there are some like her still remaining in this world. And they don't need to chant like others priests to cast their healing magic. But that's only reserved for the believers of the earth goddess. With this they came to the den of the guardian beast. Turns out it was a Fenrir, but to Ryo's disappointment it wasn't corrupted. While Nukuus gave his own name first to talk with Ryo. That was unexpected, but Nukuus said that Ryo's presence is special to the fairy folk like him. Like their very soul is getting soothed, and Ryo remembered that the fairy king had also taken a liking to him, so he wondered why that is. But aside from that, Fenrir said he had sealed a powerful undead inside the shrine, but to reach there they had to clean out the many undead in front of the shrine. Once they did that, he could open the door because he couldn't keep it in for too long due to his old age. So after they wiped out the mini skeletons, Rio signaled to Fenrir and he let the skeleton boss out. Rio put a carbonated ice sheet beneath that undead boss, which let the others go all out on him. Thanks to that, Nils delivered a critical hit and the job was over. Now came what was inside there. A statue of the goddess Earth, but a part of it had gone missing. And the last priestess of the village who had seen the piece once said that one day the piece had turned black and suddenly after that everything went south. The appearance of monsters had risen, so maybe that unknown power that entered the shrine was at play. So Nasu decided to seal off the shrine for now. Then our group remembered that a year was about to complete, so they would have to move out of the guild dorms. Nils and Ito had decided to buy a house together and invited Rio to join in. But he decided to think about it. And away from there, Hugh asked Abel to represent him in the Whitnash festival. This festival seemed kind of big because even the head of some military group of the kingdom was also about to participate in this festival at a port town. And right there our episode ends, so stay tuned to watch the next one as well, and for that subscribe the channel and hit the bell icon, or you might miss it.